Why you still feel lost, even when you're trying hard. Part 1. The invisible frustration, the truth that hits hard. I need you to be honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever felt like you're trying your best, but somehow it's still not enough? You wake up, you do what you're supposed to do, you try to improve, you try to stay disciplined, and yet, at the end of the day, you still feel stuck. If that's you, comment still stuck. The feeling no one talks about this is one of the most frustrating feelings in your 20s. Because it doesn't make sense. You're not lazy. You're not careless. You're not doing nothing. You're actually trying. And that's what makes it worse. Because when you're not trying, at least you know why you're not progressing. But when you are trying, and nothing changes, that hits differently. A real story, let me tell you about someone. Let's call him Alex. Alex wakes up early. He watches motivational videos. He listens to podcasts. He writes down goals. He tells himself, "This is my year. I'm going to change my life." For a few days, he's focused, disciplined, motivated. But then, life happens. He gets tired. He skips one day, then another, and slowly, he goes back to his old habits. Not because he's weak, but because nothing actually changed. Be honest. Have you ever been Alex? Comment, that's me. The real problem, here's the truth most people don't realize. Trying harder is not the solution. Because if your system is broken, more effort just leads to more frustration. Think about it like this. If you're walking in the wrong direction, walking faster won't help. Why you feel lost? You don't feel lost because you're doing nothing. You feel lost because you're doing things that don't align with who you want to become. You're busy, but not intentional. You're active, but not focused. And that creates a gap between who you are now and who you want to be. Let me ask you something powerful. Do your daily actions match your future goals? Comment match or don't match. The trap of motivation. Most people rely on motivation. They wait to feel inspired. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel energized. But motivation is unstable. It comes and goes. And when it disappears, so does your progress. That's why you feel stuck. Because you're building your life on something that doesn't last. If you've ever started strong and then lost momentum, type lost it. The moment of realization. At some point, you start asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stay consistent? Why do I keep starting over? But here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with you. You were just never taught how to build a system that actually works. Shifting the perspective. So instead of asking, how do I stay motivated? Start asking, how do I make progress, even when I don't feel like it? That question changes everything. So tell me, are you relying on motivation or building discipline? Comment motivation or discipline. Your first wake-up call. You don't need a new goal. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another video. What you need is a different approach. Because if nothing changes, you'll still be here. Same thoughts, same habits, same frustration. Mini challenge, interaction boost. Right now, pause for a second and answer this. What is one thing you keep restarting over and over again? Gym? Studying? Content creation? Self-discipline? Comment it below. I keep restarting ________. Transition. In the next part, we're going deeper into something most people ignore. Your daily system. The invisible structure behind your life. The thing that either keeps you stuck or moves you forward. And once you understand this, you'll never look at your habits the same way again. Part 2. The hidden system that controls your life. Opening. The thing you can't see. Let me tell you something most people never realize. Your life is not controlled by your goals. It's controlled by your system. And the scary part? Most people don't even know they have one. They just repeat the same days, over and over again. Wake up, check their phone, do what feels urgent, react to everything, and then wonder why nothing changes. If that sounds familiar, type system. What is a system? A system is simply how you live your day. Not what you plan, not what you hope, but what you actually do. Every single day, it's your habits, your routines, your environment, your default actions. And here's the truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. The invisible loop. Most people are stuck in a loop, and they don't even see it. It looks like this. You feel motivated. You start strong. You try to change everything at once. You get overwhelmed. You lose energy. You fall back to old habits. Then you feel frustrated. And the cycle repeats. Again, and again, and again. Let me ask you something honest. How many times have you restarted your life? Comment restart. The real reason nothing changes, here's the problem. You're trying to change your life without changing your system. That's like trying to build a house on a broken foundation. No matter how hard you try, it won't last because your system always wins. Why your system is failing you? Most people's systems are built by accident, not by design. Think about your day. Do you decide what to do? Or do you just react? Do you control your time? Or does your phone control you? Do you have structure? Or just chaos? Because if you don't design your system, the world will design it for you. And it won't lead you where you want to go. Small habits, big consequences. Here's something powerful. Small habits don't feel important in the moment. But over time, they decide everything. Scrolling for hours, skipping one workout, delaying one task. It feels small. It feels harmless. But repeated daily, it becomes your life. And the opposite is also true. One good habit, done consistently, can change your entire direction. So be honest. What habits are shaping your life right now? Comment good or bad. The shift that changes everything. Instead of asking, how do I change my life? Start asking, how do I change my system? Because when your system changes, your results change automatically. You don't need more willpower. You need better structure. You don't need more motivation. You need better habits. You can't trust how you feel. One of the biggest mistakes people make is relying on how they feel. I don't feel like it today. I'll start tomorrow. I need to be in the right mood. But your feelings are inconsistent. They change every day. If your system depends on your feelings, it will always break. That's why discipline matters. Not because it's hard, but because it's reliable. A simple example: imagine two people. Person A waits to feel motivated. Person B follows a system. Every day at 7 a.m., they work on their goal. No thinking, no debating, just action. After 30 days, who do you think makes progress? The one who feels ready or the one who shows up? If you know the answer, type show up. Your current system right now. You already have a system. The question is it helping you or holding you back? Because whatever your system is, that's the life you're building. Every single day, transition. In the next part, we're going deeper into something even more dangerous. The hidden behaviors that are silently wasting your time, killing your focus, and keeping you stuck without you even noticing. Part 3. The identity that's secretly holding you back. Deep version. Opening. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Up to this point, you've seen the pattern. You've seen the system problem. You've seen why effort alone isn't enough. But now, we're about to talk about something deeper. Something most people avoid their entire lives. Who you believe you are. Because here's the truth. You don't get results based on what you want. You get results based on who you think you are. So before we go further, I want you to answer honestly. When you look at yourself, do you see someone who is capable of changing their life? Or someone who keeps trying and failing? Comment capable or stuck. The voice in your head. There's a voice in your head. You hear it every day, but you don't question it. It says things like, I'm not disciplined. I always mess this up. I can't stay consistent. This just isn't me. And at first, it feels like truth. But it's not truth. It's repetition. Because anything you repeat enough starts to feel real. Let me ask you something. What's one sentence you constantly tell yourself? Comment it. Be honest. A story that hits different. Let's go back to Alex one more time. But this time, listen carefully. Alex doesn't just struggle with habits. He struggles with identity. Every time he tries to improve, there's a quiet thought in the back of his mind. This won't last. Not loud, not dramatic, but consistent. And that thought changes everything. Because when you expect yourself to fail, you behave differently. You hesitate. You doubt. You look for exits. And eventually, you prove yourself right. Be honest. Have you ever felt like you were going to fail, even before you started? Comment, I knew it. The invisible limit. Here's what most people don't realize. Your identity acts like a limit. No matter how big your goals are, you will always fall back to what feels familiar. If you believe, I'm not consistent, you will act in ways that confirm it. If you believe, I'm not confident, you will avoid situations that challenge it. This is called self-alignment. You act in ways that match your identity, even if it hurts you. So answer this. Is your current identity helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Comment helping or limiting. The most dangerous habit is not laziness. It's labeling yourself. I'm lazy. I'm not smart enough. I don't have discipline. Because once you say it enough, you stop questioning it. And once you stop questioning it, you start living it. What label have you accepted as truth? Type it in the comments. This is where most people quit. This is the moment most people never get past. They realize, it's not just my habits. It's how I see myself. And instead of changing it, they accept it. They say, this is just who I am. And that sentence becomes a life sentence. If you're still watching this, you're already different. Comment, I'm still here. The shift, identity first, action second. Everything changes when you understand this. You don't build habits first. You build identity first. Instead of saying, I want to be disciplined, say, I am becoming disciplined. Instead of, I want to be focused, say, I am someone who focuses. It sounds small, but it changes how you act. Because now, you're not trying to do something. You're becoming someone. So tell me, who are you becoming? Write it in one sentence. Proof, one action at a time, but here's the key. You don't change identity by thinking. You change it by proving it. Every action you take is a vote. You wake up early, vote. You do your work, vote. You stay consistent, vote. And slowly, those votes build a new identity. Not overnight, but permanently. So ask yourself, what did you vote for today? Comment, my identity. The internal battle, this part, is real. And it's not easy. Because when you try to change, there will be resistance. A voice that says, this isn't you. You'll go back. You failed before. And for a moment, it will feel true. But here's what you need to understand. That voice is not reality. It's your past trying to stay alive. Be honest. Do you feel that resistance when you try to change? Comment, I feel it. Breaking the old identity, you don't destroy your old identity in one moment. You replace it with small, repeated proof. You don't say, I'm a new person now. You show it, day by day, action by action, until one day, it feels natural. The moment everything changes, there will be a moment. Not dramatic, not obvious, but real. When you realize, I don't think the same anymore. I don't act the same anymore. I don't feel the same anymore. And that's when it happens. You're no longer trying to change. You've changed. If you want that moment, type, I will change. Final challenge, strong engagement, right now. Not later. Not tomorrow. I want you to write this. I am becoming someone who underscore. Fill it in. Make it real. Because this is not just a comment. It's a decision. Transition. Next level. Now you understand. System matters. Identity matters. But the real power comes when you combine them. That's where your life starts to shift fast. Part 4. The system plus identity blueprint that actually changes your life. Deep plus powerful. Opening. This is where everything comes together. This is the moment most people never reach. Not because it's complicated, but because it forces you to take full responsibility. Up to now, you've seen. Your system is broken. Your identity is limiting you. But here's the truth. Knowing that changes nothing. Because awareness without action is just another form of delay. So let me ask you directly. Are you here to understand your life? Or to change it? Comment, change it. The harsh reality, most people watch videos like this. Feel inspired. Think deeply. And then, do nothing. They say, that was powerful. That really hit me. And then they go back to the same life. Same habits, same excuses, same identity. Be honest. How many videos have you watched? That changed nothing? Comment, too many. This is where most people disappear. This is the line. Right here. The line between people who feel motivated and people who actually change, because change requires something uncomfortable. Consistency without emotion. No excitement. No hype. No instant reward. Just action. Again. And again. And again. If you're still here right now, you're already different. Comment, I'm still watching. The blueprint. Simple, but not easy. I'm going to give you something simple. Not easy, but simple. The formula is this. Identity system action proof identity. Let me break it down. Step 1. Choose your identity, not your goal. Most people start with goals. That's why they fail. Because goals are temporary. Identity is permanent. Don't say, I want to be successful. Say, I am someone who does hard things consistently. That's your identity. Right now, who are you choosing to become? Comment, I am underscore. Step 2. Build a system that matches it. This is where it becomes real. If your identity is, I am someone who is disciplined, then your system must reflect that. Same time, same action, every day, no negotiation, no emotion. Because if your system doesn't match your identity, Your identity is a lie. Be honest. Does your daily routine reflect who you want to become? Comment yes or no. Step 3. Take small, non-negotiable action. This is where people mess up. They go too big, too fast, too intense, and they burn out. Instead, go small, but don't stop. 5 minutes of focus, 10 minutes of learning, one action forward. Every day, because small actions, done consistently, become unstoppable momentum. Question: do you go too big and then quit? Comment: that's me. Step 4. Collect proof. This is where identity actually changes. Every time you follow your system, you create proof. Proof that you are disciplined. Proof that you are consistent. Proof that you are changing. And slowly, your mind starts to believe it. Not because you said it, but because you showed it. So ask yourself, what proof did you create today? Comment: my proof. Step 5. Repeat until it feels normal. This is the part nobody talks about. At first, it feels forced, uncomfortable, fake. But if you keep going, something shifts. It becomes easier, more natural, more automatic. Until one day, you don't think about it anymore. You just do it. And that's when your life changes. The truth that hits hard: you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. You don't become what you want. You become what you repeat. And right now, you are repeating something. So be honest. Is what you're repeating leading you forward or keeping you stuck? Comment forward or stuck. A moment of silence, emotional drop. I want you to pause. Just for a second. Imagine your life. 6 months from now. If nothing changes. Same habits. Same thinking. Same routine. How does that feel? Heavy? Frustrating? Disappointing? Now imagine the opposite. You stayed consistent. You followed your system. You became someone different. That version of you exists. But only if you start now. Which future are you choosing? Comment change or stay. Final push. And no more waiting. You don't need more time. You don't need more videos. You don't need more information. You need to start. Not perfectly. Not perfectly planned. Just intentionally. Because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. And deep down, you already know that. If you're serious this time, comment and no more waiting. Transition. Final part. Now you have everything. Identity system action, but there's one last thing. The thing that determines whether you keep going or fall back again. Part 5. Why you always go back and how to break the cycle forever. Opening. This is the part nobody talks about. You felt it before. That moment when everything was going right. You were consistent, focused, disciplined, and for a second, you thought, this is it. I finally changed. But then, you went back. Let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you improved, only to fall back again? Comment again. The painful pattern. This is the cycle. You start strong. You build momentum. You feel different. Then slowly, you slip. Not all at once, but little by little. One skip day, one bad habit, one moment of, I'll do it later. And suddenly, you're back in the same life. Same version of you. Same frustration. Same thoughts. Be honest. Does this cycle feel like your life? Comment cycle. Why you always go back. This is the truth most people avoid. You don't go back because you're weak. You go back because your old identity is still stronger than your new one. You try to build something new, but you didn't stay long enough to make it permanent. So when things got hard, you returned to what felt familiar, because familiar feels safe, even if it's painful. Question: do you go back to comfort, even when it hurts you? Comment comfort. The comfort trap. Comfort is dangerous, not because it feels good, but because it feels normal. Scrolling for hours, avoiding hard work, delaying your goals. You don't question it, because it's your default. And every time you return to it, you reinforce your old identity. Be honest. What's your biggest comfort trap? Type it. This is where most people lose. Not at the beginning. Not when things are hard, but in the middle. When progress is slow. When results don't show. When motivation disappears. That's where most people quit. Not because they can't continue, but because they don't see results fast enough. Have you ever stopped right before things could work? Comment too early. The invisible war. You think you're fighting your habits, but you're not. You're fighting your past, your old patterns, your old thinking, your old identity. And that version of you doesn't want to disappear, so it pulls you back through thoughts like, just take a break. You've done enough. You can restart tomorrow. And slowly, you lose control again. Be honest. Do you hear that voice? Comment, I hear it. The breakthrough. How you stop going back. This is the moment everything changes. You don't break the cycle by starting stronger. You break it by staying longer, long enough for the new version of you to become real. Because consistency over time kills your old identity. Let that sink in. The rule most people ignore. You need one rule. One rule that changes everything. Never miss twice. Miss one day? Fine. But never two. Because one day is a mistake. 2 days is a pattern. And patterns create identity. So tell me, will you follow this rule? Comment, never twice. The real test anyone can start. If you can continue. Because continuing requires something deeper than motivation. It requires commitment. Showing up when you don't feel like it. Acting when you don't want to. Continuing when nothing feels rewarding. That's the difference. Be honest. Are you committed or just interested? Comment committed or interested. A moment you won't forget. One day you'll face a moment. You're tired, unmotivated, done, and you'll have a choice. Go back or keep going. That moment will define everything. Not the big days, not the easy days. That moment. When that moment comes, what will you choose? Comment, keep going. The final truth, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be the best. You just need to not go back. Because if you don't go back, you will move forward. Slowly, quietly, but inevitably. Final challenge, strong close. This is your moment. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, I want you to write this. I don't go back anymore. Type it. Commit to it. Make it real. Because this isn't just a comment. It's a decision. Ending. Emotional hook. Most people will watch this, feel something, and change nothing. But a few will take action. The question is, which one are you? If you made it to the end, like the video, comment your commitment. Share this with someone who needs it. Because your future doesn't change by chance. It changes by decision.